Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this little corner of the internet as I sit here in the corner of my room. Eventually, maybe I'll have a better setup, but for now, this will do the job. Speaking of jobs, that's what we're here to talk about. I talk about jobs a lot, hating your job, loving your job, trying to find eternal happiness. I don't know. So today I wanted to talk to you all about something that I just learned about recently. It's not a new concept at all. I'm just behind on the times. It's called quiet quitting. So what is quiet quitting? It's when you keep your job, but instead of doing your job, you don't. Because I'm no expert, I'm going to consult the Google. What is quiet quitting? Quiet quitting is an application of work to rule in which employees work within defined hours and engage solely in activities within those hours. Despite the name, the philosophy of quiet quitting is not connected to quitting a job outright, but rather doing precisely what the job requires. According to Wikipedia, that's what quiet quitting is. I think maybe I've been quiet quitting a little bit. Just sometimes I feel like I don't go above and beyond anymore because I think, what's the point? I mean, what would happen if I didn't update that website? Would that be the end of the world? What would happen if I didn't make that logo? What would happen if I didn't set that meeting? Sorry, I think I lost my train of thought. So yeah, why do people quiet quit? Apparently it's the latest workplace trend to combat burnout. And what is burnout? Job burnout is a special type of work-related stress, a state of physical or emotional exhaustion that also involves a sense of reduced accomplishment and loss of personal identity. Yeah, the sickness is burnout, and the cure is quiet quitting. That's what I seem to be getting from all of this. You get the burnout, you quiet quit, you keep your job, but hopefully you'll be less stressed because you're just doing the bare minimum. So you're doing enough to keep yourself employed, but you're not doing enough to really, expect a promotion or a raise at some point. But at most companies, at least the ones I've worked for, after like 6 months or a year of being with the company, then you're due for an automatic raise because inflation. And our salaries need to keep up with the rate of inflation. I know my voice is raspy. That's why I'm drinking tea with honey and lemon, hopefully to smooth it out. So, why am I talking about quiet quitting? Well, I'd say in school, I was kind of an overachiever. I got straight A's, I was on the honor roll, principal's list, whatever. Because, I don't know if it's just like the Chinese culture in my family, but if you didn't get A's, you were doing something wrong. Like even when I would bring home my report card to my parents and there'd be a B on it, they'd ask, why'd you get a B? Why wasn't it an A? Well, you did good here, but you could have done better. B, that's bullshit. So I was always wanting to do the best I could. And then in the workplace, I thought, well, I guess I'll just keep overachieving because that's what you do in the real world, right? Well, you can, but it's not like you're getting graded for it. And plus in work, it's like if you mess up, then you're not gonna fail. I feel like it's actually very hard to get fired at most places, especially now with the great resignation that's happening. Or has happened. I don't know if it's still going on. But yeah, a lot of people have resigned because they're stressed out or they've realized that, hey, this workplace sucks. I don't like the corporate life. This isn't for me. I'm going to do something else. And so when people leave, then all these companies have this shortage of employees. They can't get the work done at a rate that they used to. So I think because of that, because people have realized that corporate life kind of sucks, all these big companies are making all these changes to try to make the workplace better for their employees so they don't lose as many people. And I always hear about companies making strides for employee wellness and making the workplace more comfortable and safe. But you can never escape those inner office politics. Those are always going to exist. People have egos, especially people in C-suite positions like CEO, CFO, CEO, COO, whatever the fuck. For me, I don't think I ever want to be that high up in the corporate ranks because what's the point? Really, it's not that important to me. So when do you come to the point of quiet quitting in your job? Even if you like your job, I think you can still find yourself quiet quitting at some point throughout the day. If you're making a lot of personal phone calls or texts or checking your personal email during work hours, that can be considered quiet quitting because you're doing things that are not related to work within work hours. Or I wonder if some people do this because they want to get fired. Like they think, just take my job, you're doing me a favor. Because, I mean, quitting's hard. And you know, sometimes you get more benefits if you're fired. Like severance pay. Do you get anything else? Severance pay, is that it? Guess it depends on the company. Every company has its own policy on like what happens when employees get terminated. I don't know, can't speak to it. I've never been fired. If it happens to me, I'll let you know. If any of you guys have ever been fired, let me know what happened. Did you get severance? Did you get any other kind of benefits that went along with your severance package? Let me know, I'm interested. So if you are physically, emotionally, or mentally exhausted from your job, you have burnout. And how do you combat that? Well, you need to give yourself some time to relax and recover. R&R, as they say. Relaxation and recovery, I think it stands for. I don't know. I don't know if you could tell, I didn't have a script for this video. I'm kind of just winging it. I thought I'd see what happens. How do I quiet quit? Well, YouTube helps a lot.
When I discovered YouTube, I didn't work for 5 days. I did nothing.
Sometimes I watch YouTube videos to learn how to do something that I need to do for work. Like I have to work on a lot of websites sometimes, and I'm not a website developer. It's all very confusing to me. So I'll watch YouTube tutorials on how to do stuff for work. Like Webflow, like what the fuck? But also, that opens up the window for all these other videos that I want to watch. Like, I quit my job. I quit my job without a plan. I quit my job without another job or savings. You know, I like to watch videos about people quitting their jobs while I'm at work. That's not professional at all, but it helps me cope. I get to see like, oh, maybe life can be better. Like I see these people all quitting and going on to something better and being relieved that they don't have to be stressed out with the weight of all the work that they had at their previous job. And I think, there's hope for me. Oh my God, it's possible. Happiness is out there. And yeah, burnout is real. Like, it happens. We're all human. Sometimes we need a break. Like last week, I took a nap during work hours. I was just so tired. I could not function. I was sitting at my computer and I just couldn't keep my eyes open. You know, I didn't even go to sleep that late the previous night and I didn't wake up super early, but I just needed to recharge a little bit more. So I took a nap for like half an hour. When I woke up, I felt better. I felt a lot more relaxed. I felt a lot more rested. That helped me stay awake better and be able to focus on the work I actually had to do. I'd say like you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta know yourself well enough to know like, hey, I'm tired. I need a break. I can't do this work. And you know, your work really suffers if you're pushing yourself to work past the point of exhaustion or starvation. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So when I'm working, I tend to not feel very hungry. I don't know if that's healthy. I call it the work diet, or more specifically the LA work diet, because when I lived in Washington, this didn't really happen to me as much. But like moving down here and having a way more like stressful job, I guess, a job that like takes up more of my time, even outside of work hours, like I'm still like mentally thinking about work stuff. Yeah, that just makes me like not hungry. It's like the opposite of marijuana. It's like if I want to feel not hungry, then I'll just work a bunch and stress myself out, and then my body will be in like fight or flight mode, and I'm running on all this like work stress adrenaline. It's like I don't got time to eat. I gotta work. And so I just don't eat, and I don't even feel hungry. I don't know if that's healthy. And then I've also realized I tend to get hungrier at night, like after all my work is done, after I've come home, I can relax, you know, be a potato and just eat. So what was this video about? I don't know. So I'd say if you find yourself feeling burned out and quiet quitting at work, maybe it's time for another job. But if you still like your job and you want to stay where you are, I think a little quiet quitting is okay, but just don't let it go overboard and definitely don't get caught. But if you do, you can just explain to your supervisor that you need some time off. You need some time to yourself. That's kind of what it is, maybe. Maybe quiet quitting is like people splicing in the work-life balance that they're missing at work. And you know, if you're in a job that expects you to take some work home with you, then why not bring some of your personal time within work hours? Like if you're mixing it up anyway, then it's got to go both ways. If these companies wanted people to be working nonstop and be thinking about work 24/7 and to be on call whenever and be comfortable accepting phone calls at like 10 at night or joining meetings at like 5 a.m., then they should have just made some robots. Because we have blood, we have sweat, we have tears, you know, we pee and we poop, and we have to eat to make that pee and the poop. We are organic, carbon-based beings. We're mostly water. We have to recharge. And yeah, I don't think it's fair that so many people are overworked and often underpaid because companies are gonna try to get away with paying their workers the minimum amount that they need to. I don't know, to maximize profits, to maximize productivity, and yet CEOs are paid like millions of dollars. I get it though. People who work that much have to give up most of their lives, basically, to their job. And so your compensation has to reflect that amount of time that you're putting into your work. Like lawyers, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because they have no personal life. You know, as a kid, I used to think, oh, it must be great being a doctor or a lawyer. You make all this money, but you have no personal time. It's like, how do you even have a family? How do you even work that into the equation? It's like when you're not working, you're trying to find time to sleep or eat or see people outside of your job. That's not the life I want to live. I mean, I get it. Some people are workaholics and that's the job they want. They're career people. That's their life. That's what they want to do. But for me, I think I want something simpler. I'm happy with just a boring, simple life. But I still like being a good worker. And you know, it's just part of my personality. Like, I went into a field that's basically aesthetics. It's mostly visual based because I have an eye for detail and I like to make things look nice, but it's just maybe it's coming to a point where it's feeling like it's too much and I'm reevaluating if I really want to do this and I'm just not sure anymore. Maybe I won't stick with it, probably not. That's why I'm looking into other things to do. Well, I think that wraps up my ramble for today. Just wanted to let you guys know that I've discovered quiet quitting and I'm doing it. I'm sure you guys are too. If you're at work and you're watching this video, you're quiet quitting. Congratulations. Just make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you're eating enough. If you have to, set timers on your phone to remind yourself of when to eat, sleep, and also exercise. You know, you want to stay active. You want to stay limber. You don't want to get stiff. I have weak back muscles, so I have to remember to exercise every once in a while. Otherwise, it's just not good. Well, thank you for watching. All right, bye.